Good evening and welcome to tonight's St. Francis basketball matchup between the Fighting Saints and the Trojans of Taylor University. My name is Terry Bonadonna on the call for this evening's home opener for the Fighting Saints, who are playing their fourth game of the season. They are 1-2 so far, with those first three games coming on the road over the last week and a half, coming off of their first win and certainly the biggest game they've played this year under their new head coach, Steve Brooks. They defeated number one Marion on Saturday. Now they try to make it two in a row against Taylor, and we're underway with a tip won by St. Francis. Caitlin Aylward struggles to gain possession of the ball, though. It's tipped out of bounds, and the first possession of the game will go to Taylor. Let's look at the starters for the Trojans today. Their guards, Josie Cobb, Aubrey Wright, and Abby Books. The forwards are Cassidy Wise, and their leading scorer, junior Kendall Bradbury, averaging over 22 points per game. This is Taylor's first possession, wearing purple and black, and going from left to right here in the first period. This is Abby Books passing up top. Nobody there, but chased down in the back end by Josie Cobb. Heads up play by Cobb. Shot clock down to 5 seconds. This is Aubrey Wright driving, throwing up the floater over Kamari Jordan, and scoring the first 2 points of the game. Taylor leads 2-0. Here come the Fighting Saints, led by their senior guard, Kamari Jordan. She's in possession right now. The other guards, Ivana Markovic and Caitlin Aylward, Paige Gieske, Nicole Davidson, the three forwards on the team. Tonight in the starting lineup, Jordan fires a three. She misses short, and the rebound chased down by Abby Books. Saints number 5 in the country, coming off of a national semifinal appearance a year ago. Three-pointer off the mark, rebounded by Aylward. Cassidy Wise can't get the shot to go, and Aylward is quickly fouled. First foul called of the game. It goes against the visitors, and it's called on Abby Books, the sophomore forward from Angola, Indiana. Taylor, of course, located in Upland, Indiana, a non-conference game here early in the season for the Fighting Saints, wearing gold and black with the white stripes across the shoulders. They're, of course, shooting to the left side in the first quarter. This is Davidson. Short baseline jumper is good, and we're tied at 2. First 2 points of the game for the Saints belong to Nicole Davidson, junior, who's taken on a much bigger role in the offense after losing a number of key performers from last year's squad. There's a Taylor turnover as Cassidy Wise is whistled for the travel. So the Saints will have a chance here to take their first lead of the night. Inbounded to Davidson, fired into the corner. That's Davidson off the pass from Paige Gieske, and Davidson misses on the jumper. So Taylor going the other way. It's Aubrey Wright on the right wing. Wright carries it up top, shadowed the entire way by Kamari Jordan. Down low and kick back out to Books. Books driving down the baseline. Backing in on Davidson, and she is called for another travel. Second consecutive possession for the Trojans to end in a traveling violation. She dragged her pivot foot after trying to post up on Caitlin Aylward. Here's Markovic in the corner. Up to Aylward. Sophomore fires down low, and she finds an open Nicole Davidson right underneath the basket. The Saints have their first lead at 4-2. 2.5 minutes into the action. There's 7:22 and counting to go in the first quarter. Josie Cobb dribbling around a screen and passing the Books on the right side. Up top, here's a drive from Wise, and Wise finds herself an open layup. Nice drive and finish from Cassidy Wise. 4 up. Saints basketball. It's Aylward leading the team in scoring at just over 15 points per game through the team's first 3. Round to the right side, Kamari Jordan in the corner with 12 on the shot clock. Bounce to Davidson, jumper from the right elbow is good. Two teams trading baskets now as the Saints lead by a deuce. This is the junior guard Aubrey Wright for the Trojans. Bounce to Bradbury. Star of the team has not gotten involved in the offense in the early going today. Open three-point shot, no good. Rebound knocked around. Aylward tracks it down. Lobbed ahead for Davidson. She's on the run. 1-on-2. She'll take it in anyway and score off the glass. Hot start today for Nicole Davidson. And the Saints have the first 2-possession lead of the game. They'll try to make it more than that as Aylward strips Bradbury. Tossing it ahead to Markovic. They'll slow it down with Paige Gieske, the freshman, at the top of the key. Passing off to the left wing and Davidson. Markovic thought about the three, passes off instead. And they'll get it back to Caitlin Aylward. She tries the three-pointer, misses short. Caitlin Aylward, not a big three-point shooter. She has, however, made 4 of them in 3 games this season, second most on the team. Expanding her range from a season ago, she does miss on her first attempt today. There's a three-point effort from Bradbury. It misses, and it's rebounded by the defense. 1 and done once again for the Trojans. Saints doing a good job on the glass early on. Just about 5 minutes gone in the first quarter. It's the Saints by 4, and they've got the ball. Kamari Jordan holding on the right wing. Passes to a cutting Markovic, who bounces into the corner for Gieske. Swung around to Aylward. She'll try another three. She misses again, and it's a long rebound to Aubrey Wright. Wright passes up top to Bradbury. Over to Books, left wing, 3. Too strong. Long rebound to Gieske. Horace long-range shooting for both teams in the early going today. Neither side has yet made a three-pointer. Saints lead 8-4 as Caitlin Aylward's hold on the left side. Markovic up top. Back to Aylward, 6 on the shot clock. Caitlin will have to take it inside. Tossed in for Davidson, turnaround, no, but a foul. Nicole Davidson has dominated the early going today, and she'll get a chance to add 2 more points from the line. She is the only St. Francis player to score yet in this game. 4 of 5 from the field for her 8 points. Getting her first free throw attempts of the game. Davidson on the season, a 78% foul shooter and limited opportunity. She's 7 for 9. Make it 8 for 10. I'm no math major, but I believe that's now 80% from the free throw line. Trojans will make some substitutions. They bring in 3 new players, including Lauren James and Sydney Huffman. And didn't catch the third one. I'll let you know in a second as Davidson knocks down both free throws. 10-4, St. Francis has the lead. This is Lauren James passing up top to Sydney Huffman. Now a three-point attempt from Bradbury, a little bit short. Rebound to Davidson, and she is immediately fouled by Lauren James. I just realized why I didn't immediately notice who that third substitute was, because it was Becca Books coming in for Abby Books. Didn't look as though they had made a change. Twin sisters, one subbing out for the other. Third foul against Taylor. St. Francis is yet to commit one. This is Kamari Jordan holding on the right side, finding a wide open Davidson at the foul line. She knocks down another 2. 12 points in the first quarter for Nicole Davidson. She entered the game today averaging 11 per contest. She's already outdone that. There's Books for 3. It's good. Becca Books hits the first 3-point shot of the game. Prior to that, the 2 teams had gone a combined 0 for 8 from long distance. Still a 5-point lead for St. Francis, though, as they reclaim possession. 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. This is Davidson to Markovic. Down in the corner, Aylward. Aylward drives, and her offensive foul is called. I think that's a moving screen on Markovic. That is on Markovic, her first, and the first on the team. 5-point lead for St. Francis, but Taylor hit a 3 on their last possession. They can make it a 1-score game here. Here's Lauren James driving and kicking out to Books. She hits another 3. Becca Books 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. The rest of the floor is 0 for 8. The rest of the floor meaning all the players on both teams have gone combined 0 for 8. But Becca Books 2 for 2. Entering play today, she had made only 2 3-pointers all year. And there's a turnover once again for the second straight possession. St. Francis called for an offensive foul. Ivana Markovic will check out. Paige Gieske is going to check out. New player on the floor for the Saints is Andriana Acosta. There's a steal. Kamari Jordan comes away with it. Jordan taking it into the teeth of defense. Spins into the lane. Out to Markovic for three. Good. Ivana Markovic hits the Saints' first three-pointer of the game and extends the lead to 5. Taylor was calling for the travel there on Jordan in the paint before the pass. She did not get the call, and finally somebody other than Nicole Davidson has scored, and there's another steal for Kamari Jordan. 2 in a row for her. A lot of turnovers in the early going. The Saints have been able to turn them into points for their part. We'll see if they can convert again off of this steal. Aylward looking for the cutting Davidson, but it was well defended inside. So instead she finds Kamari Jordan. Jordan on the outside finds Aylward to the right. Here's Davidson on the drive. She pulls up with 7 on the shot clock. Passes to Aylward to a cutting Davidson. Misses off the glass, and the rebound to Taylor. Under 2 minutes to play in the quarter. Taylor basketball. It's Huffman. Huffman passes to Bradbury. Back up top. Huffman, 15 to shoot. Just working it around the perimeter right now. Bradbury traveled. Tried to pull up at the elbow there, and she was not able to stop her forward momentum, pulling that back foot behind her. Another turnover committed by Taylor. They have really struggled with those in the early going. Caitlin Aylward up top to Acosta. Now Markovic on the right wing to Davidson. Nicole Davidson, 12 points so far today. Aylward spins into the lane, misses off the back iron, rebounded by Acosta. Put back is good, and Acosta has scored the last 5 St. Francis points. Her first 2 points of the game. Previous 3 were from Markovic. Huffman passes to Bradbury, left side. She drives and draws some contact. 7-point lead, St. Francis. It's just the 3rd team foul. So Taylor will have the inbound from the baseline. First foul on Caitlin Aylward. Substitution for Taylor is Haley Stratman. Makes her first appearance. She stands down in the right corner and now gets the first touch of the game. Passing back to Huffman. Huffman looking inside for Brooks, well covered by Acosta. Pass deflected up into the air by Markovic, and it'll go out of bounds. 18 left on the shot clock, 34 seconds on the first quarter game clock. Taylor still in possession off that pass deflection. This is Becca Brooks, 6 points here in the first quarter. Passing off to Huffman. Back to Brooks, and Aylward jumps into the passing lane with the interception. Driving to the hoop, Aylward layup misses. Offensive rebound Acosta, and a held ball called as James reached her hand in on Acosta on the rebound and forced the tie-up. Possession arrow does face St. Francis, but that's still a big play, turning the possession arrow over to Taylor. Acosta lobs it into Aylward with 17 seconds on the clock. Saints can hold it for 1 shot. And that's exactly what Steve Brooks is indicating from the bench. Wants him to tick it down to about 5 seconds before making the move. Here's Davidson with 5 seconds, floating it up and in. Nicole Davidson continues her hot start, and the long-range shot to end the period does not fall. So the Saints will take a 9-point lead into the first quarter break. A solid start for St. Francis. A red-hot beginning for Nicole Davidson. Take a quick break here. Back with more in just a moment. At the end of 1, it's St. Francis 19, Taylor 10. 19-10 St. Francis over Taylor after a quarter. First quarter stats, Saints shot 53% from the field, just 44% from Taylor, a big number. 7 turnovers committed by the Trojans compared to just 3 for St. Francis. Leading scorer today, Nicole Davidson, has 14 of the team's 19 points. And that includes the first 12 all by herself. She's 6 of 8 from the field. Davidson, Aylward, Acosta all tied with 2 rebounds. Kamari Jordan has taken only 1 shot, uncharacteristic of her, but she does have 3 assists. Leading scorer for Taylor, Becca Books, who came off the bench, hit a couple of 3-pointers for 6 points. Taylor ball to start the second quarter thanks to that possession arrow switch. Bradbury knocks down a 3. Kendall Bradbury, who averaged 22 points per game over the team's first 5, has her first 3 points of this contest, and that's a big shot for her. Taylor has got to get her going if they want to have any chance of pulling off the upset today. Defensive foul called on Taylor, their first of the quarter. They'll go against Haley Stratman, and that is Stratman's first foul. Kamari Jordan will inbound from the baseline. Right underneath, Aylward up, in, and a foul. Caitlin Aylward has her first 2 and a chance to make it 3 points right now. Aylward, the 6th man on last year's team that was ranked number 1 in the country for much of the season, stepped into a starting role very impressively. She hits the free throw, averaging 15.3 points. Tops on the team, 5.7 rebounds, which is second on the team through 3 games. 22-13 St. Francis. 3-pointer in and out from Stratman, and the rebound goes to Aylward, her 3rd of the evening. Saints have matched their largest lead at 9 points. Foul, by the way, a moment ago was called on Kendall Bradbury. It is only her first. This is Aylward on the outside, guarded by Stratman. Off to Kamari Jordan. Slow offensive start for Jordan, and she's looking for the pass to Acosta, but before it's made, a 3-second violation whistled against Nicole Davidson. So it's the St. Francis turnover, their 4th of the night. Taylor basketball, pass lobbed inside, and a block coming from the opposite end. Davidson turns away Cassidy Wise. Make that Aubrey Wright, who is blocked, and Kaylin Aylward turns it over with the travel. Shuffled her feet before making the drive. And so the block leads to no points for St. Francis. Still excellent defensive play by Davidson. Josie Cobb up to Stratman. Around to the left side. Stratman in some trouble. Looking for help. Finally, she gives it up to Becca Books. Books drives on Acosta. Blocked from behind by Davidson. Second time in this quarter that Nicole Davidson has come from the back end with some help defense and come away with a block. This is Davidson on the offensive side now. 8 minutes to play in the first half. Davidson holds on the left wing and passes off to Kamari Jordan. Now Acosta uncovered on the outside, not a shooting threat. 7 to shoot, Kamari Jordan. Jordan's got to work here with 5 seconds left. Drive. She pulls up, puts up the shot, and misses off the back iron. Loose ball foul is called, and it will go against the home team. First foul of the quarter on the Fighting Saints, and it is on Kamari Jordan. That's her second foul. And it looks like Maddie Kennedy is going to hop off the bench for Steve Brooks and come in for Jordan, who's in the aforementioned foul trouble. Their center, Kendall Bradbury, will take over the ball handling duty. She spins around Aylward, down the lane, in and out on the shot. Beautiful ball handling, but she can't finish. Here's Maddie Kennedy on the other end for the Saints. Ivana Markovic passes back to Kennedy on the left side. To the right, Markovic. Ivana Markovic on the right wing, lobs it inside to Aylward and back out to Davidson. 10 on the shot clock, it's Markovic. Crossing over to the left. Now outside Davidson. Lobbed in for Aylward, who's shoved from behind. A foul is called against Taylor And that's a bailout with just 5 seconds on the shot clock. The Taylor foul called on Cassidy Wise, her first. It's the third on the team, and the Saints get a fresh 30 seconds on the shot clock with 7:08 to go in the half. Ivana Markovic wide open for 3, well off the mark. Aubrey Wright fell down running into Caitlin Aylward's screen, left Markovic all alone beyond the arc, but well off on the shot. Bradbury inside, scores and one. You don't want to let Kendall Bradbury get going. One of the better scorers in the history of Taylor University, averaged 18 points 2 years ago as a freshman, 21 last year, and a shade over 22 through the first 5 games this year. And with Caitlin Aylward picking up her second foul already tonight, she'll have to check out. And the Saints bring on Cody Brand off the bench as the free throw goes through for Miss Bradbury. 6 points for her, 6-point deficit for the Trojans. Kennedy trying to make it 9, but her 3-pointers an air ball. Rebound chased down by Cody Brand. Sometimes the air balls are the hardest ones for the defense to rebound, so the bad shot actually plays into the Saints' hands. It did not hit the rim, obviously, so the shot clock did not reset. It's only at 7, but it'll reset to 30 for Taylor as the offensive foul is called against St. Francis. Acosta called for her first foul, the team's third, and St. Francis a little out of sorts offensively in this period. They've scored just 3 points in the first 3.5 minutes. In fact, both sides have been a little bit off their games offensively lately. A low-scoring contest to this point. Here's a drive from Taylor's Lacey Garrett. Passed outside, 3-ball is good. That's Cassidy Wise. Wise makes it just a 3-point game. It's a 9-3 run to start this second quarter for the Trojans. Cody Brand up top, passing to the left wing, Nicole Davidson. Another turnover on the Saints, an offensive foul called against St. Francis. That's their 4th foul of the period, and I believe 3 of them have been on the offensive end. That'll go on Cody Brand, her first. And just frustration right now for Steve Brooks as his offense is not in any kind of rhythm. Bradbury steps into a long 3-pointer, hits the backboard, rolls around but does not fall. It's an offensive rebound for Josie Cobb. They'll try again. Bradbury drives, has it stripped by Kennedy. Here come the Saints. Davidson slows it down with defensive pressure from behind. Acosta travels. No doubt about that one, just couldn't get a handle on the ball as she tried to make a pass. Led to her taking an extra step. Another turnover on St. Francis and a timeout called by Steve Brooks from the sideline. Second quarter, 5:33 to play. 22-19, St. Francis still has the lead, but they have not played well in the second quarter. So far in this period, they've hit just 1 field goal, 3 total points, and 5 turnovers in the quarter. 4 fouls. I think 3 of them have been offensive, if I'm remembering correctly. Their defense has not played poorly. They're just not getting things done on the offensive end. So the timeout called. They'll talk things over, try to regain a grasp on the situation. Kennedy, Markovic, Gieske back in. Acosta and Davidson on the floor for the Saints right now. It's Taylor basketball. And the ball being taken down the floor by Lacey Garrett. Kicked outside to Josie Cobb at the top of the key, guarded by Markovic. Lobbed in for Bradbury. Going in on Gieske, good defense. She has to pass outside. Gieske did a nice job on Bradbury that time. Here's a pass outside to Garrett, and Garrett is called for the double dribble. So a Trojans turnover. They've had more than they'd like in this first half as well, primarily though in the first quarter. That's just their second of this period compared to 5 against St. Francis. Still both teams approaching the 10 turnover mark already, and we're only halfway through the second period. Markovic bounces once and passes to Gieske. Paige Gieske, a freshman out of Dundee Crown. Davidson to the hoop, off the glass, no, and it didn't matter Oh, excuse me, it did matter. There's a foul on the defense. I thought they had called an offensive foul initially, but it is on Taylor. So Davidson missed a little bit too strong off the backboard there. Rather than getting the 2 points and 1 free throw, she'll get 2 free throws and make the first. 3 of 3 from the line tonight. Davidson, a very impressive 15 points here in the first half, well over half of the team's points so far. Averaged 11 per game coming in. And now she's got 16 in this game. 24-19, St. Francis back by 5. Taylor's come up empty on their last few possessions. Lacey Garrett up top. Looking inside, finds Bradbury against a defensive breakdown. Bradbury has a wide open layup and an easy 2 points for her. Markovic crosses over, now backs down on Garrett. Turnaround up with the left hand and a foul. Garrett trying to argue she was straight up, but she's called for the team's 5th foul of the quarter. St. Francis in the bonus. It's the first foul on Garrett. Markovic hits on the first free throw. Saints still have just 1 field goal here in the second quarter, but they're starting to get going from the line a little bit. Second shot is good as well. So 4 of 4 now on free throws over the last 2 possessions. They're 5 of 5 on free throws in the second quarter, and it's a 5-point lead. Cobb dribbles to the right and passes off to Garrett. Garrett runs over Kennedy, no call. Bounced inside for Bradbury, but it's a travel. Traveling called on Lacey Garrett as she took an extra step before bouncing that pass down low. Another mistake made by the Taylor offense. Both offenses have been sloppy in the first half. 26-21 St. Francis, just under 4 minutes to play in the half. Gieske passes to Kennedy on the right side. Up top, Markovic. Now Acosta. Andriana Acosta tosses off to Kennedy, down into the corner. Markovic drives, pulls up, passes out to Kennedy. Wide open 3, top of the key. Nicole Davidson off the mark. Rebounded by Bradbury. Davidson not a big long-range shooter, but she was wide open, so decided to fire it to no avail. Ivana Markovic forces that pass out of bounds. It'll stay with Taylor. Good defense by Markovic. Well positioned, quick hands, and knocks the pass away with just 5 seconds off the shot clock for Taylor as they re-inbound. Here's Cobb. Cobb trying to spin around Markovic. Passes outside Wise for 3. Too short. Offensive rebound. Bounced into the corner. Baseline jumper. No good from Cobb. She missed 2 shots on the possession. And the Saints take over. Markovic, a little bit out of control, throws it into the corner and does find Davidson. And that'll allow the Saints to slow things down a little bit. Markovic around to Gieske. Kennedy on the outside. Thought about the 3. Instead, she'll pass to Markovic. 10 on the shot clock. Kennedy this time will take the 3-point attempt and miss it. Wide to the left off the rim, and it's rebounded by Bradbury. Bradbury going all the way down the floor inside the arc. She passes to Cobb. Back around to Bradbury, guarded by Gieske. Drives around her and bounces inside to the open Aubrey Wright, who is fouled on the block. Aubrey Wright is going to the free throw line for 2 shots. Both teams in the bonus now, as that's the first foul called on Maddie Kennedy. 2 free throws for Wright, and she makes the first. Free throw shooting has been sharp in the early going. Neither side has missed one, though that was the first attempt of the game for Taylor. They're now 2 for 2, and the 2 teams have combined to go 9 for 9 from the free throw stripe. Leah Sims, the freshman point guard, in for St. Francis. She takes the ball down the floor. They find Nicole Davidson inside. I think that was Josie Cobb who reached her hand and forced the held ball. The possession arrow is facing St. Francis. It'll stay here with Paige Gieske inbounding. To an open Nicole Davidson. Jumper off the glass. No good. Rebound goes back to Davidson. Up and no good. Offensive rebound Acosta. Turnaround misses. And this time it's finally cleared by Taylor. Down by just 3. They could tie on this possession. Bradbury, way outside. Crosses over on Gieske, picked up by Sims. Gieske back in the picture. Bradbury bounces down into the corner. Long two, off the mark from Jamie Netzley. Rebounded by the Fighting Saints, under 2 minutes to play in the half. This is Leah Sims, off to Acosta. Acosta bounces once, passes to Sims, down into the corner. Paige Gieske, 10 on the shot clock. They're finally inside the arc. Markovic drives, off the glass and in. Beautiful drive. Ivana Markovic hits on the layup. She's got 7 points, second most on the team. The lead is once again 5 for the Fighting Saints. Here's Aubrey Wright. Wright passes to a streaking Bradbury, who finds Netzley on the outside. Good drive around Sims to the hoop. The right-handed layup is good. First 2 points for Jamie Netzley on an impressive drive to the basket. Saints basketball with under a minute to go in the half. This is Markovic passing out to Sims. Acosta up top. Bounces into the corner. Now back to Markovic, right wing, 7 to shoot, step back 3. Markovic misses short. Acosta battling for the rebound, and it's knocked out of bounds by Jamie Netzley. This ball will stay with the Fighting Saints. Substitute coming on for Taylor. Becca Books is back in for Jamie Netzley. 41 seconds in the half. Fresh shot clock. Acosta doesn't need it. She'll shoot in the first second and knock down the short jumper. 4 points in the game now for Acosta. 5-point lead for the Fighting Saints. This will probably be the last possession of the half for Taylor. Trying to make the most of it. Lobbed inside Bradbury. Goes up over Gieske and draws the foul. Paige Gieske called for her first. 2 free throws coming up for Kendall Bradbury. .7 seconds remain in the second quarter. And Bradbury rattles the first free throw home. Taylor's sticking around. Saints have led by as many as 9 on a couple different occasions. Finally a missed free throw, first of the game for either team. 4-point lead for the Saints as they'll take the last possession of the first half. Ivana Markovic with 8 seconds left, crosses to the left. Runner blocked and a foul. Markovic took a hard tumble into the back wall, but she's okay. She's helped to her feet. 5.8 seconds to play in the half. And the foul is called on Aubrey Wright, her first for Taylor. 2 free throws for Markovic. Ivana Markovic has 7 points. She's perfect from the line. Now 3 of 3 as she makes the first shot here. Markovic on the season, 75% shooter coming in. It's up to 80% now. And a little bit higher than that as she makes them both. Saints are 9 of 9 from the line. Along the sideline, this is Aubrey Wright passing into the corner. Books for 3 at the buzzer, gets it to go. A big finish to the first half for the Taylor Trojans as they cut the Saints' 6-point lead down to 3 on a buzzer-beating three-pointer out of the hands of Becca Books. She made 3 3-pointers in the first half for her 9 points. Saints, though, still on top. We'll take a 15-minute break for halftime. Back at it for the third quarter in just a little bit. 32-29, St. Francis on top. We're just about set to begin the second half of action here at St. Francis. Fighting Saints lead the Taylor Trojans 32-29. Let's take a look at some of the stats from the first half. Saints shot a total of 41%. Trojans were at 44% from three-point range. This is a big part of the reason Taylor's still in this game. 5 of 13, good for 39%. St. Francis just 1 of 9 from beyond the arc. Both teams turned the ball over more than they'd like. Taylor 10 times, St. Francis 8. Nicole Davidson, the leading scorer and rebounder on the Saints, 16 and 5. Kendall Bradbury and Becca Books each have 9 points for Taylor. Books on 3 3-pointers, including one to beat the first half buzzer. Bradbury leads the way for them with 4 rebounds. Kamari Jordan is the game's top assister with 4 of them. We're underway and a quick start to the second half as Taylor ties the score on a very quick 3-pointer. That came from Josie Cobb. It's 32-32. Saints take their first possession. Ivana Markovic passes up top to Kamari Jordan. Jordan on the right wing fires a 3-pointer of her own, in and out. And the rebound knocked around, finally won by Cobb and Taylor. Cobb up with the left hand, no good on the layup. Rebound tapped out to Aubrey Wright. Taylor was out rebounded by 6 in the first half, so they've got the first 2 here in the second half. Bradbury on the cut to the hoop. Nice move to get around Aylward, but she misses the shot, and the long rebound tapped out to Ivana Markovic. Both Markovic and Nicole Davidson played all 20 minutes in the first half. Kamari Jordan, Caitlin Aylward both missed a significant chunk of time with foul trouble. Steve Brooks needs them to stay on the floor here in the second half. Just not enough offense without them out there. Aylward drives with the left hand, passes outside. Acosta, Andriana Acosta misses the long 2. Rebound still loose and finally secured by Cassidy Wise. Here come the Trojans looking for their first lead since it was 2-0. And a foul called as Abby Books is forced to the ground. A couple of fouls for Books. She left the game in the first quarters, the first time we've seen her since. That's the second foul called on Andriana Acosta. For most of the first half, it felt like St. Francis had a pretty good handle on this thing as Bradbury misses the 3-pointer that would have given Taylor the lead. Taylor kept it close, though, with their far superior outside shooting. And now here they are in a tie game as Aylward misses a 3-pointer from the corner. Saints continue to struggle from the outside. They've made just 1 3 today. This is Books lobbing it inside. Bradbury scores over Kamari Jordan. Kendall Bradbury has 11 points, and she gives the Trojans their first lead since 2-0. 34-32. 2.5 minutes gone in the second half, and the Saints are still looking for their first points. Acosta off to the right side and Kamari Jordan. Jordan dribbles to the top of the key. Shadowed by Aubrey Wright. That's a screen from Caitlin Aylward. She won't use it. She goes to the right side off of Davidson's screen instead. Here's Aylward for 3 at the buzzer. No good, and it missed the rim. Aylward had to hoist up that 3-pointer with the shot clock running down. It hit off the backboard, did not get any piece of the rim. So it is a shot clock violation. And Taylor's got the ball. 2 is their largest lead today. The Saints have been up by as many as 9 points. Here's a drive and dish outside from Wright to Books, and Books is fouled. Make that Cobb drawing the foul. And it's called on Aylward, her 3rd. That's a big one. 2nd on the team. Aylward's going to stay in there with 3 fouls for the time being. Inbounded to Bradbury, guarded by Davidson, up and in. Kendall Bradbury adds 2 more to her growing point total. 13 in the game now for their star junior. 4-point lead for Taylor is their largest. And they're on a 10-0 run. Going back to the 3-pointers sunk by Becca Books at the buzzer to end the first half. Finally, Saints get back on the board, and who else but Nicole Davidson scores the 2. Davidson has 18 points in the game. She scored the Saints' first 12. Now 7 of 12 from the field. Taylor up by 2. Nearly stolen by Ivana Markovic, but the loose ball is picked up by Wise. Cassidy Wise, step back jumper from about 13 feet, misses. A battle for the rebound is a held ball, and the possession arrow faces the Fighting Saints. So they'll get it back here with a chance to tie or take the lead. They have led pretty much the entire way, but they find themselves on the wrong end of the scoreboard right now with 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. This is Ivana Markovic getting the screen from Aylward and drifting off to the right side. Jordan, top of the key. Kamari still has not scored yet tonight. Jordan drives with the right hand, throws it up off the glass and in. Finally, Jordan on the scoreboard. 36-36, we are tied. Driving the baseline, pulling up and missing the shot there is Cassidy Wise, and a loose ball foul called on Wise. That'll be the first on the team. Kamari Jordan entered play today, averaging 11 points per game, slightly below her career average. She's going to be counted on to be a big scorer for the Saints this year. She went the whole first half without getting on the board. Finally, she has her first 2 points. She did, however, have 5 assists prior to that basket, so it's not as though she's been ineffective on offense today. Step back three-pointer. Markovic is good. Ivana Markovic, a huge three-pointer to put the Saints back in front. Just the second made three ball of the game for the Fighting Saints. They've both come from Ivana Markovic. They're now 2 of 12 shooting from beyond the arc. Drive and kick to Bradbury from Wise, and Bradbury ties the score. She knocks down a three-pointer, evening it at 39. Fifth tie score that we have had today. Bradbury has 16 points. This is Aylward driving to the right side, kicking out to an open Markovic. She'll try it again. She misses this three-point attempt, and Acosta is whistled for a foul on the battle for the board. Andriana Acosta called for her third foul. Third on the team. Becca Books is back in for the Trojans, for Abby Books. Becca had 3 three-pointers in the first half. Wise trying to bounce it inside to the cutting Josie Cobb. Sends it off of a Saints foot instead. Kicking violation will reset the possession. Shot clock remains at 17 for the Trojans, who inbound from the baseline. Cobb trying to get it in. She finds Cassidy Wise on the outside. Acosta steps in on defense. Wise drives, kicks to Books. Now Books in with the left hand. Foul called offensively. Becca Books dropped the shoulder. First foul on Books, the second on the team. Saints ball in a tie game, 39-39. This has turned into a good one tonight after the Saints led pretty much the entire first half by as many as 9 points on numerous occasions. Kamari Jordan passes out to Acosta, and she travels. Andriana Acosta shuffled her feet. Another turnover committed by the Fighting Saints. That's their 10th of the evening. They entered play today with 58 turnovers on the year, nearly 20 per contest, as Kendall Bradbury hits another one from short range. Bit of a slow start today for Bradbury, but she's turned it on. 18 points for her now. This is Jordan. pulling up. Nice move to get around the defender. Misses on the shot. Gets her own rebound. Jordan pulls it outside. She gives it up to Ivana Markovic, who will reset things. 22 on the shot clock. Jordan up top. To her left, it's Nicole Davidson. Davidson tries the three. It's short. And the rebound will drop out of bounds. We'll send it Taylor's way, leading by 2. 2:47 to play. Third quarter. Taylor had a 3-point halftime deficit, trying to turn it into a 5-point lead, and they do as Becca Books knocks down another one from long range. Books has 4 3-pointers on the night. 12 points for the sophomore. Jordan off to Davidson. She's slowed down a bit. Here's Kamari Jordan on the right wing. Crossing over, getting to the lane and passing outside. Now Davidson into Adriana Acosta. Nice fake to the left, drive to the right, and she scores over Bradbury. Nice play by Acosta. A much needed 2 points for St. Francis, who had trailed by 2 scores for the first time all game. Now the deficit is 3 as Wise kicks it outside. Wright thought about the step back 3. Instead, she gives it up to Becca Books, who gets it right back to Aubrey Wright. 10 on the shot clock. Driving with the left hand down the lane, banking it in is Wise. Cassidy Wise, beautiful drive and up with the left hand. Taylor leads by 5 once more. They've outscored St. Francis 17-9 here in the second half. Markovic around to Aylward. Now Kamari Jordan tries the 3. Jordan misses long, and the rebound goes to Taylor and Kendall Bradbury. Approaching the 1-minute mark. 5-point lead for Taylor. Cobb hands it off. Now it finds its way into the hands of Kendall Bradbury. Bradbury drives on Acosta. Scoop shot blocked out of bounds, but a foul called on Adriana Acosta. That's going to be her 4th. And Bradbury's going to the free throw line. Free throw edge to St. Francis is the biggest thing keeping the Saints in the game right now, as Bradbury misses on the first. Trojans are 4 of 6 from the line. St. Francis 9 of 9. The huge difference at this point has come from beyond the 3-point line. Trojans 8 of 17. Saints 2 of 15. Bradbury makes 1 of 2. It's a 47-41 game. Saints have not led since it was 39-36. Jordan pulls up, bounces to Gieske off her hands and out of bounds. Nice find by Kamari Jordan, but Gieske couldn't haul it in. Well-developed play until the very end. It's a turnover instead. Bradbury threw her hands, but fortunate for Taylor, Cobb was there on the back end. Cobb spins into the paint. Pulls up around Davidson, off the glass and in. Beautiful drive, Josie Cobb. Suddenly it's a 9-point Taylor lead. They're on a 15-2 run. Markovic out to Davidson. Nicole Davidson drives to the right hand, pulls up just inside the free throw line and misses on the jumper. 2 seconds left in the quarter. Cobb pull up 3, it won't count. Didn't go in anyway. We're done with 3 quarters and Taylor has an 8-point lead, 49-41 our score. The Trojans, a huge third quarter, have taken command of this game. We'll see if the Saints have one last run in them to get back in it and maybe come away with their second consecutive victory. We'll take a break back to wrap this thing up with 10 minutes still to play. In just a few moments, Saints trail by 8. Some stats through 3 quarters. Saints field goal percentage down to 39. Taylor shooting 50%, including 8 of 17 from beyond the arc. St. Francis just 2 of 15. On free throws, St. Francis 9 of 9. Taylor 5 of 7. Saints out rebounding Taylor 23-20. Nicole Davidson has 18 points, 6 rebounds to lead the way for the Fighting Saints. Kamari Jordan has 5 assists. Leader for Taylor is Kendall Bradbury, 19.7 rebounds. Aubrey Wright has 4 assists. Bradbury scored 10 points in the third quarter as Taylor outscored St. Francis 20-9. Shooting very impressive in the third period for Taylor as they started to pull away a little bit. They lead by 8. The scoreboard here in the arena says 50-41. The score 49-41 in favor of Taylor. Becca Brooks has 12 points. She puts the ball on the ground, drives, and misses the runner. Rebounded by Paige Gieske. Taylor went 8 for 13 from the field in that third quarter as the Saints lose the ball out of bounds. It's another turnover. That's their 12th. 8 of 13 from the field. And that includes 3 of 4 from three-point range. As they turned a 3-point deficit into an 8-point lead. Saints' largest lead has been 9. So both teams have enjoyed healthy advantages in this game, but right now it's Taylor in front. Saints need to make a run. They need to come up with some big defensive stops first. Here's Josie Cobb against the double team. She passes out to Cassidy Wise. Wise drives, layup, no. Offensive rebound, Bradbury. She's fouled. Kendall Bradbury entered today's game averaging nearly 23 points, 15 rebounds per game. 19 points now, 8 rebounds in this game, and 2 free throws coming. She makes the first. Cody Brand is in for Nicole Davidson, who's getting her first breather of the game. Second free throw is good. So she hits on them both. It's a 10-point lead for Taylor. Largest advantage for either side tonight. And when Taylor went down big in the first half, they came back with the 3-point shot. We'll see if the Saints have any of that in them today. Ivana Markovic, the only one who has hit a shot from beyond the arc. Paige Gieske inside, bounces to Cody Brand underneath. Out to a wide open Markovic. 3-pointer is good. A much needed 3-pointer for Ivana Markovic. She's got 15 points. Keeping the team in the game here in the second half. 51-44. Here's Cassidy Wise. Wise drives, layup, good. Or no good, sorry. Rebounded by Markovic. Saints on the move. It's Kamari Jordan. Pulling up on the right side, guarded by Aubrey Wright. Jordan finds Brand in the corner. Cody Brand drives, pulls up at the elbow, and passes out to Jordan. 13 on the shot clock. It's Markovic. Up to Brand. Brand finds Gieske in the corner. Jordan, 6 to shoot. Jordan drives the baseline, gets around one defender, and hits the layup. Nice job by Kamari Jordan, dribbling around Aubrey Wright and pulling the Saints back to within 5. Timeout called by Jody Martinez and the Taylor bench. 51-46, 7:43 to play, and a big 5-0 run for St. Francis to get them back in this thing. It looked for a moment like it was slipping through their fingers and Taylor was starting to run away with it. But a big 3-pointer for Ivana Markovic, a defensive stop, and a nice drive and score for Kamari Jordan has gotten the Saints back to within 5 for Jordan. Just her 3rd and 4th points of the game. It's been a bit of a slow start to the season for Jordan shooting-wise. Below her typical averages, came in shooting 39% from the field, but she was a solid 7 of 15 over the first 3 games on 3-point shots. Tonight, Jordan is 0 for 3 on 3-pointers and just 2 of 7 overall. Saints came into play today shooting 36% on 3-pointers as a team. Today they're 3 of 16. And if you take Ivana Markovic out of the equation, they're 0 for 10. Now what a difference just one of those three-pointers could have made. Taylor leading by 5 here, 7:43 to play. And they'll come out of the timeout with Cobb, Wright, Wise, Becca Books, and Bradbury. 4 of the 5 starters, with Becca in for Abby Books, the only difference. Saints have Aylward, Markovic, Jordan, Gieske, and Brand on the floor. Cody Brand, the only non-starter, playing for Nicole Davidson. Markovic has not left the floor tonight. She's been the most consistent performer here in the second half, and arguably throughout the game, though Davidson got off to that great start. There's a foul away from the ball. Cody Brand got in the way of Kendall Bradbury. And Brand is called for her second foul. It's the team's second. Cobb looking to get it in. Trying to find Bradbury, but it's knocked away by Paige Gieske. A big takeaway for St. Francis. Now we'll see if they can convert on this end and make it a one-score game. Gieske on the left wing. Takes one step in and passes out to Cody Brand on the right. Caitlin Aylward to Ivana Markovic up top. 10 on the shot clock. Gieske for 3. Paige Gieske misses on the open 3, and the rebound goes to Josie Cobb. A big defensive stand there for Taylor with under 7 minutes to go in the game. Taylor played number 2 St. Xavier on Saturday. Hung in there with them, and now they're trying to pull the upset on St. Francis as Kamari Jordan comes up with a big block of Cassidy Wise. Here come the Saints. Aylward inside, stripped out of bounds, last touch by Aylward. No foul called. There was some contact inside, but mostly with the body, and the strip got all ball, but it was knocked off of Aylward before going out. So the ball belongs to Taylor. 12 turnovers committed by each side here tonight. Taylor has shot significantly better than the Saints have. Drive with the left hand for Wise, strip, but she gets it back. Here's Cobb. 9 on the shot clock. Cobb holds it outside near the midcourt circle. Now she drives on Markovic, gets inside, up with the left hand, in and out, and Cobb gets her own rebound, taking it away from Ivana Markovic. Fired inside for Cassidy Wise, and Wise scores off the assist from Aubrey Wright. Second chance points there for Taylor. They were out-rebounded by 6 in the first half. They have out-rebounded St. Francis by 3 here in the second half. Caitlin Aylward fires across court to Gieske. She holds on the left wing. Gieske drives off the glass. No good. Cody Brand is going to be called for the loose ball foul. A very frustrating offensive day continues for the Fighting Saints as Andriana Acosta comes in for Paige Gieske. Saints just have not been able to shoot since the first quarter when they went 8 of 15 from the field. Since then, they're just 9 of 27. And then beyond that, they've turned the ball over 13 times, including 10 of them since the first period. Knocked out of bounds by Cody Brand. Good defense there. Brand playing now with 3 fouls. 7-point lead for Taylor. 3-pointer for Becca Books. Not this time. She had made 4 earlier in the game. The rebound tapped to Kamari Jordan. Jordan will give it off to Markovic, and she'll run the offense here across the timeline. Jordan, right side. And a timeout called on the St. Francis bench. 5 minutes, 12 seconds remain in the game. 53-46 Taylor out in front of the Fighting Saints. As I was saying, Taylor played number 2 St. Xavier on Saturday and right back into the Chicagoland area only 2 days later. They fell in that game by 6 points to last year's national runners-up. And they were within 1 possession in the final minute, so just missed pulling off the big upset. Today they're trying to upset number 5 in the country and doing a little bit better job of it. Not just within 1 possession, but a lead in the fourth quarter, and a fairly substantial one at 53-46. St. Francis is coming off of their biggest win of the year, their only win of the year. They're 1-2 to start the season. They got blown out against the number 3 team in the country a week ago Saturday, and then this Saturday, an 11-point win against the number 1 team in the nation, Marion, the defending national champion, and the team that knocked St. Francis out in a tight semifinal matchup last year. So both of these teams are coming off of big games on Saturday. St. Francis against number 1, a win, and Taylor a loss against number 2. Saints are not off to the start that they wanted to get off to this year, but they're adapting a lot of new players into this rotation. A very young team after losing a lot from last year's top 5 squad. Against a very difficult early season schedule. They've already played 2 of the top 3 teams in the country. And today a very tough Taylor team. Not ranked, but receiving votes in the preseason poll. Taylor up by 7 as St. Francis puts the ball back in play. Nicole Davidson on the left elbow. Drives to the right side, trying to bank it in. She does. Nice drive. And a strong finish for Nicole Davidson. Saints are back to within 5. The season high 20 points for Nicole Davidson. This is Becca Books, guarded by Caitlin Aylward around a screen, drives to the right side, stripped and taken away by Aylward. Caitlin Aylward just ripped that ball out of the hands of Becca Books on the drive. Great defense. And now the Saints can cut it to 1 possession again. Jordan drives to the right, up with the layup. She's blocked, but a foul called. Kamari Jordan, just 4 points so far in today's game, but a chance to add 2 more right here. St. Francis was 9 of 9 from the foul line in the first half. This is their first free throw attempt in the second half. And Jordan makes them 10 of 10 for the game. Substitution as Abby Books comes in for Becca Books. Just the first foul of the quarter on Taylor. Jordan brings the Saints to within 3. Looks like it's going to be a tight finish here as Taylor takes possession, nursing that 3-point lead. This is Wright, bouncing it inside Bradbury, off the backboard, no good. Rebound Andriana Acosta. Bradbury's gone cold. She scored just 2 points in the fourth quarter. Here's Davidson, pull-up jumper from 14 feet. Too strong, battling for her own rebound, but she's called for the offensive foul, or the loose ball foul, rather. Knocking Abby Books to the ground, and a lot of boos heard from the St. Francis faithful. Well, they thought that Davidson was just making a good hustle play, but she's called for her first foul of the game. It's the 4th foul of the quarter on St. Francis. This is Books, passing to the left side. A dribble drive from Cassidy Wise, fouled by Caitlin Aylward going to the hoop, and that's Aylward's 4th. She and Acosta now both playing with 4 fouls. 2 shots coming from Wise. Taylor now in the bonus, so they'll get free throws the rest of the way. The first one is good for Wise. Wise is 62% free throw shooter coming in. One of 2 on this trip. So it's just a 4-point deficit for St. Francis with 3:45 to go. Here's Kamari Jordan. Jordan bounces it to the left side, and Davidson. Nicole Davidson crosses over into the paint, backs up, turnaround jumper short. Rebound still loose. On the floor, Acosta dives for it and calls the timeout. Good hustle play by Andriana Acosta. Saints may have gotten away with a couple of travels there. It looked like Davidson shuffled her feet inside before the shot. Nothing was called. Acosta perhaps traveled before she got that timeout in, but I think the ruling there was she never really had possession of the ball as she fell to the ground. So a good play by Acosta getting that board and getting the timeout in. Saints down by 4 with 3.5 minutes to play. They've got the ball coming out of this timeout. As I said, looks like it's going to be an exciting finish, one way or the other. Taylor looking for the marquee victory that has eluded them so far. As I said, they received votes in the preseason top 25 poll, just 2 and 3 to open up their year, but like St. Francis, they have played a very tough schedule. 2 of their 3 losses have come against top 15 teams, and they have been close games. Playing a close one tonight. Acosta will inbound into the corner. Kamari Jordan left all alone for 3. She's got it. Kamari Jordan hits the first 3-pointer for any player not named Ivana Markovic in tonight's game for St. Francis and pulls the Saints to within 1. 9 points in the game now for Jordan. 7 of them here in the fourth quarter. This is Bradbury driving with the left hand to the basket. She's fouled. With the foul prior to the shot, but they are in the bonus. Bradbury has gone cold here in the fourth quarter. I shouldn't say cold, she's gone silent. Hasn't gotten a lot of touches. Not that she hasn't been shooting well, it's that she hasn't had that many chances. But a chance for 2 big points right here. First free throw is good. Second free throw, rattles around and falls. 56-53 our score. 23 points now for Kendall Bradbury. Kamari Jordan on the left wing. Hit the 3 from the corner on the last play. Davidson steps inside the 3-point arc and knocks down the jumper. Nicole Davidson pulls the Saints back to within 1. Davidson's got 22 points. Wright pulls up, passes outside to Wise. Now Josie Cobb to the left side. Abby Books swung around the perimeter, 9 on the shot clock. Cobb starts to drive, pulls up, picks up her dribble. 3 seconds. 3-second violation call. I believe that was on Aubrey Wright, although Cobb was in the lane for a while herself. Saints can reclaim the lead on this possession. They have not led since Taylor made a 3-pointer back in the third quarter to tie the game at 39. So 39-36 was St. Francis's last advantage. Offensive foul called on Kamari Jordan, and she's beside herself. I'm not sure if she extended the arm there. It's the only thing I could think that would have been called. I didn't see it. A very tight call in a crucial moment of this game with 2 minutes to play. It's a 1-point lead for Taylor, and they get it back. Cody Brand in on defense in place of Caitlin Aylward, who's got 4 fouls. Bradbury, while falling, makes the pass outside. Cassidy Wise trips up and is called for the travel. So in a 1-point game, back-to-back turnovers, 1 for each side, and now on offense, Aylward will check back in. Team's leading scorer coming in. She has had a tough night, though. Just 4 points in the ball game for Caitlin Aylward on 1 of 6 shooting. Jordan dribbles to the right side. Passes up top to Markovic. Bounce back out to Jordan. Shot clock down to 10 seconds as Jordan holds outside. Now driving through the lane, up, in, and a foul. Huge play. Kamari Jordan puts the Saints back in front. Kamari Jordan has taken this thing over in the fourth quarter. After 3 nightmarish periods for her in which she just couldn't get her shot going, she has come to life and put up some huge numbers here in the fourth. She's looking for her 12th point of the game from the line. She's got it. 2-point lead for St. Francis, 58-56. It's their first lead since it was 39-36 midway through the third period. Cobb drives left hand, pulls up at the elbow, passes to the right side. A drive from right. She pulls up underneath the basket. and draws the foul. Nicole Davidson, a little over-aggressive on defense, up in the air. Right heads-up play got underneath Nicole Davidson and took the contact as Davidson came down. So she can tie the game with these 2 free throws. First one is good. Aylward and Brand continue to play the offense-defense substitutions. So Aylward checks in with 1:04 on the clock. For the tie, Wright hits the free throw. Timeout called by Taylor, 58-58. Been a good one tonight. St. Francis got off to a hot start, shot 53% from the field in the first quarter, and led by 9 points at the quarter break. But then they went through 2 periods where they just had a lid on the basket, couldn't get anything to fall. They trailed by as many as 10 points after leading by 9 back in the first. But in this fourth quarter, Saints have come back to life. They've outscored Taylor 17-9 in the fourth. In the first and fourth quarters, St. Francis has outscored Taylor by 17. And likewise, Taylor outscored St. Francis by 17 in the second and third quarters. For the game, they've been pretty even. Taylor, well, very even, obviously. Both have 58 points. Even in a number of other categories as well. Taylor shooting 44%, St. Francis 43%. Trojans have been much better on the three-pointer, shooting 44% to St. Francis's 22%, but Kamari Jordan made the huge three-pointer off the inbounds play a few moments ago after Taylor just lost sight of her down in the corner. Free throws have been decisively in St. Francis's advantage, 100% on the game, 12 of 12. And Taylor's been good on free throws, 80%, but still big edge to St. Francis in terms of percentage. But overall, they've both made 12 free throw shots. Biggest edge that St. Francis has in this game is in the rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds to 5 for the Trojans, and that's led to 5 more field goal attempts, which has kept them in the game and brought them back to the tie score. Here we go, final minute of play. It's Nicole Davidson, team's leading scorer tonight with 22 points. Swinging it around to the left side, and Kamari Jordan. Jordan backs up, under 10 seconds to shoot. Starting to make her move inside the arc. She pulls up, long two-pointer is good. Kamari Jordan continues her dominance here in the fourth quarter. Timeout called as the Saints lead 60-58, 36 seconds to go in the game. This game has featured 6 ties, 5 lead changes. They've gone back and forth here in the fourth quarter. Cody Brand comes in for defense. They put 38 seconds back on the clock. Taylor with the ball and a chance to tie or take the lead in the final minute. And they hand the ball off to their best player, Kendall Bradbury, will handle the ball on this possession. She backs in on Brand, kicks it out, three-pointer, Cobb, in and out. Rebound goes to Acosta. Andriana Acosta works out of the double team and sends it ahead to Cody Brand, to Davidson. Davidson to the hoop, foul. 18 seconds to play. Nicole Davidson is going to the free throw line for 2 shots. 60-58, St. Francis leads. Josie Cobb had an open three-point attempt for the lead and just missed it. It rattled around the rim and fell out. And a timeout is called by Taylor. 30-second timeout with 18 seconds to go in the game. St. Francis trying to even up their record at 2-2 against some tough competition. Coming up after today, conference season begins on Thursday in the city at Roosevelt. And then a really tough task on Saturday as conference season continues on the road. They'll get a date with number 11 Cardinal Stritch. Their first home conference game is November 21st against Governor State. But getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, still some business to tend to right here Cole Davidson at the free throw line for 2 shots. Davidson entered play today, 7 of 9 on the season from the foul line. She is perfect today at 4 for 4. Taylor hoping for the first miss of the game, and they've got it. First free throw missed all night. They had been 12 of 12. That guarantees that even if this shot goes in, it's a 1-possession game, assuming Taylor gets the ball back. Davidson does hit the free throw. 61-58, and another timeout called by Taylor. They seem to have a lot of them. 30-second timeout, 61-58. There are still 18 seconds left here, so there's no reason the Trojans need to shoot a 3, but they have been shooting them from beyond the arc pretty well today. Although, having said that, they're 0 for 3 from long range in the fourth quarter. But plenty of time to get to the hoop, hit a quick 2, and then try to get the ball back. We'll see what their game plan is and whether or not the Saints put on a little full court pressure to try to run some extra clock as the Trojans try to make their way down the floor. Taylor is in the double bonus, and of course following the timeout they don't have to make their way down the floor. They get it at midcourt. 61-58. Here comes the inbounds play. Cody Brand on the ball. They do get it in to Becca Brooks. And Brooks throws it away out of bounds. Miscommunication on the offensive end for the Trojans. Brooks throws the ball away and a huge turnover. The Saints get it back with a 3-point lead. 14.7 on the clock now. And Steve Brooks will take his turn at a 30-second timeout. So if they can get the ball in, Taylor, you would think, will have to foul immediately. But the Trojans will put some pressure on the ball and try to come away with the quick steal. St. Francis, 13 of 14 from the free throw line today. That's been maybe the biggest reason they were able to hang in there when it looked like Taylor was starting to run away with the game. And then, of course, the Saints got hot in the fourth quarter and have been able to go on the run and reclaim the lead. They've outscored the Trojans by 11 here in the fourth quarter. So free throws have been huge for them, and they figure to need them down the stretch to put this game away. Davidson gets the ball into Markovic, and she is fouled. Markovic fouled by Abby Brooks. And Markovic a little bit shaken up as she fell to the ground on that foul. Tripped up on the play, and she's hobbling. It's only the team's fourth foul. Correction, so no free throws. This one will send the Saints to the line. Goes into Kamari Jordan. And Jordan draws the foul. Jordan, a 1,000% free throw shooter. So Markovic is good at 75%, but this is probably a better scenario for St. Francis anyway. Getting Jordan to the line and able to take an extra second off the clock as well, because the Trojans did have that foul to give. Jordan hits the first free throw, 62-58. Second shot up and in. Jordan remains perfect on the season. She is now 9 for 9 on free throws this year, and the Saints have a 5-point lead. Timeout called, 63-58, 12 seconds left. And now Taylor really has their backs up against the wall. They need to score quickly, and they need to get the ball right back to have any chance in this one. Still not over for certain, but it's looking at the moment like a big comeback for St. Francis. And considering their two star players, Kaylin Aylward and Kamari Jordan, both got off to extremely slow starts in this game, it is very encouraging for Steve Brooks to see that they had enough to stay in the game to the point where here in the fourth quarter, Jordan at least has gotten hot. Aylward has never really found her touch, but Jordan has gotten hot and brought the team back from the brink. Taylor basketball, 12 seconds to go. They get it into Cobb. Cobb, step back three, blocked by Markovic. Cody Brand pulls it down, and that should do it for St. Francis. Taylor will not foul, and the Saints will pick up their second consecutive victory here at home. Back-to-back home wins. They beat Marion on Saturday, and they beat Taylor here today, 63-58, to improve their record to 2-2 on the season. And this one a big win against a good team. They had to come from 10 points behind in the fourth quarter, and they're able to do just that to come up with the win. Go over some of the final statistics in this game in just a moment. For the Saints, a game in which they lost a big lead early. They showed a lot of mettle in that second half. This is a young team, but with a couple of battle-tested veterans. Kamari Jordan, the biggest one of all, the senior, led the way in the fourth quarter. She had just 2 points at halftime, but finished the game with 16 on 5 of 10 shooting, 5 of 5 from the free throw line. She made just one three-pointer, but it was a big one that got the Saints to within 1 point in the final couple of minutes. Nicole Davidson led the way with 23 points. She also had 6 rebounds and an assist. Adriana Acosta had a team-leading 9 rebounds. Kamari Jordan led the way with 6 assists. For Taylor, the leading scorer was Kendall Bradbury, who was right around her season average of 23 points, well below her season average of 15 rebounds. She finished with 8 of them, still a team high for the game. Aubrey Wright was the leader with 5 assists for Taylor. Saints shot 44% from the field, Trojans 42 from three-point range, 42% for Taylor, 22% for St. Francis, but they were able to overcome that. Free throws, huge key for St. Francis. They were 15 of 16, Taylor 12 of 15, and the Saints out-rebounded Taylor 31-25. Taylor finished the game with 17 turnovers, 14 for St. Francis, and I believe only one of those came in the fourth quarter, so that was big for them as well. Again, the final score, St. Francis 63, Taylor 58. The Saints improve to 2-2 in their non-conference slate. They do still have a couple of non-conference games coming up later in the year, but for the most part, it's going to be conference play from here on out. They begin that on Thursday at Roosevelt. Taylor, with their loss, falls to 2-4 for the season. Again, Roosevelt on Thursday, the next game for St. Francis. That is a 6 o'clock, make that a 5:30 start time on the road. Their next home game coming up November 21st. That is a Tuesday, and it's a 5 o'clock start time against Governors State. Again, Saints beat the Trojans 63-58. That'll do it for today's broadcast. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We're back at it here at home on November 21st against Governors State. Hopefully you will be too. Until then, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis. Good night, all.